It was tough out there for home buyers in 2021. Shoppers scrambled to find properties and battled in bidding wars while prices shot up across the country. The COVID-19 pandemic upended the home buying process. Historically low mortgage rates coupled with an inventory shortage created a red-hot market, with houses selling within hours of being listed, often for well over asking price. Economists expect the market in 2022 to be a tad gentler, but chasing the homeownership dream will still require strategy and stamina. No one knows exactly what the future has in store, but housing experts say that in 2022, buyers can expect similar trends to the past 2 years: elevated prices, low inventory, and fast turnaround. That said, although it will continue to be a seller's market, home values are expected to increase by double-digit percentage points. With that in mind, here's what you need to know if you plan to buy a house in 2022. There will be more buyers than homes for sale. Demand for housing isn't going anywhere. There's a huge shortage of housing, along with would-be buyers waiting to jump in. Many of them also have the flexibility to move and work from anywhere, taking advantage of the wide acceptance of remote work brought on by the pandemic. Even before the pandemic, there was a low housing stock in the country. And COVID-19 supply chain troubles and a labor shortage have only made things worse. Though builders are trying to ramp up production, inventory will remain scarce. A healthy real estate market has about 6 months of unsold inventory. That means it would take 6 months for all the homes in the market to sell at the current sales rate. But unsold inventory nationwide was less than half of that in the recent months, according to National Association of Realtors data, and even lower in sizzling markets. In fact, the number of homes actively listed for sale fell to a record low at the end of November. Though there will likely be more listings in the spring and summer, as is typical, it is unlikely there will be enough to meet demand. However, there is a glimmer of hope. Real estate industry groups expect the supply of for-sale homes to increase in 2022. According to Lawrence Yun, the National Association of Realtors chief economist, with more housing inventory to hit the market, the intense multiple offers will start to ease. Home prices will rise, but not as quickly. Those hoping competition will slow in 2022 are out of luck. Economic trends include tight supply, elevated demand, and low mortgage rates will continue to give sellers the upper hand. Home prices are expected to increase year over year, but at a slower pace than in 2021. The National Association of Realtors projects home prices will increase just 2.8% in 2022, far less than the estimated 14.7% gain in 2021. Other experts' predictions vary, but the projected percentage gains are still in the single digits. Potential buyers can expect bidding wars on many homes, particularly in the spring and summer. While no one can predict exactly what will happen, the trends mean prices will continue to climb. In fact, economists predict home values will rise by 11% in 2022. Not as much growth as in 2021, but still substantial. Prices will rise most where cost of living is low. The urban exodus that defined so much of the pandemic will likely extend into 2022 as professionals continue to be liberated from the pricey metro areas where their jobs once compelled them to live. According to Steve Johnston, founder and CEO of Ideal Agent, I expect to see inventory expand nationally, but we'll see shortages in desired markets with buyers' continued migration from the cities to the suburbs. For 2022, the competition amongst homebuyers in suburban and rural areas will be fierce. On top of this, mortgage rates are also expected to increase. With inventory far too low to meet demand throughout 2021, rental prices soared all year long. In 2022, renters can expect more of the same. Economists forecast that rates will increase in 2022, but it's important to keep that in context. Even if they go up as projected, they will still be fairly low. Young buyers will be at a disadvantage. Millennials, who are at peak first-time home buying age, will remain at a disadvantage compared to older generations when it comes to buying a house. This is not only because homes are so much more expensive now than they were when baby boomers and older generations were buying their first homes, but because boomers are staying in their homes longer as they live longer. That means more and more first-time home buyers are likely to need financial help from family and friends to make a down payment. Obviously, that will limit who can buy a house. Housing affordability in the US has been an issue for buyers, particularly young ones, for some time. But the issue has only been exacerbated since the onset of the pandemic, and will continue. The Federal Reserve just announced it will start trimming its purchase of bonds and mortgage-backed securities in the coming months. Inevitably, that will mean higher mortgage rates and higher payments for the average homebuyer. While this doesn't necessarily mean buying a home will be impossible next year, it does mean you can expect to pay more or will need to lower your price point to account for the higher cost of financing. First-time homebuyers should also note that as a direct result of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, there is an increase in the number of people working from home, and this has a big impact on the areas where homebuyers are looking to purchase. With living close to the office no longer of concern for many people, buyers are able to look at a wider range of locations. Survey data shows that 19% of sellers are moving because they no longer need to live close to the office, while in spring of 2021 it was just 6%. That said, this also means millennials will have to compete with other homebuyers who are looking for more space so they can have a home office or just generally more space for a place that is now for both living and working. The housing market in 2022 is expected to be a good one for sellers, but not one where buyers can't find something that works for them. Inventory will likely go up slightly while prices will increase as well, driven in part by more than 45 million millennials moving into the home buying phases of their lives. But as more people move farther from the city centers to work remotely, they could face competitive markets where they have to pay more or give up space. It's going to be a tough ride for home buyers this year. Given the hot market, here's how to prepare and compete. First, shop lenders and get pre-approved. Kevin Parker, Vice President of Field Mortgage Originations at Navy Federal Credit Union, says, "We always recommend getting in contact with a lender as soon as possible, not just to apply but to understand the process. Lending criteria vary by the type of mortgage and lender. Down payment requirements could be as low as 3% for some conventional loans, but putting down more than required has advantages, especially in a seller's market. A higher down payment can give sellers confidence that your loan will close, which may increase the chances of getting an offer accepted. Once you have your finances in order, apply for a mortgage pre-approval. A pre-approval is an offer from a lender to loan you a specific amount under certain terms. Real estate agents will require that you're pre-approved before showing you homes. Apply with more than one lender and compare loan estimates to choose the best deal. A loan estimate is a standard form that lenders are required to provide applicants. The form breaks down loan costs, including the interest rate, monthly payment, and closing costs. Second, get a good local real estate agent. An agent's expertise in the local area is critical in this market. Experienced local agents know what's going on in their communities and they share information with one another. Third would be, set realistic expectations. The best way for buyers to avoid getting discouraged or give up altogether is to manage their expectations. Understanding from the onset of their search that they need to start earlier, consider homes that may need some cosmetic updates, and understand that they may have a 10+ offer experience before closing on their home will be helpful. A good real estate agent will let you know what to expect in your market. Number 4, know what you want and can offer. Before shopping, know the maximum offer you're willing to make, how the offer will be structured, and the terms you're willing to negotiate. The process will be less messy if you prepare. It's like taping a house before you paint. Target properties that are priced under what you're qualified to buy so you have room to negotiate. Decide what you need and what you can live without. A house may have old pink tile and linoleum, but still be a nice, structurally sound home. You'll likely face less competition for fixer-uppers. Ask yourself, what does this house offer and can I turn it into what I want over time? Lastly, be vigilant and patient. For buyers that are on the hunt, you have to be just as vigilant as your real estate professional. Network to let people know that you're house hunting and the kind of property you're looking for. Some buyers are holding off, thinking there will be a surge of properties coming on the market later, but it's unrealistic to think things are going to do a 180. Start sooner than later and give yourself a long lead time. It could take a week, but it could also take months and months. All of that said, experts say to be prepared. Do your research ahead of time so you're ready to go when you find the right listing. Glenn Phillips, CEO and lead economic analyst for Lake Homes Realty, says that when buying a home the next year or longer, it will be important to watch new listings, include coming soon listings, and be very prepared not only to visit the home quickly, but prepared to decide and extend an offer almost immediately. That said, don't overpay. Prices will be up, but that doesn't mean to take something outside of what's reasonable for your budget. Compare home prices from the prior year in your local area to the listings you're currently considering. If the same type of house is listed for significantly more, it makes more sense to wait for something else. Buying a house may be a bit easier in 2022 than it was this year, but you'll still have some challenges to face. Fortunately, most of those are surmountable with a little preparation and a good plan. Start working on your budget now, find an agent who can help you be competitive, and separate your must-haves from your nice-to-haves. From there, it's all about patience and perseverance. Well, that marks the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching, and do nudge on the like and subscribe button if you found this helpful. We'll see you in the next video.